Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub. You know the name that has inspired such journeys for decades, Africa Twin. For 2025, Honda is adding a new member to the iconic family, the Africa Twin 650. It's lighter, more accessible, more affordable, but still full of that same adventurous DNA. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into everything that makes the new Africa Twin 650 such a compelling choice for riders looking to blend off-road exploration with real-world versatility and everyday usability. So grab your coffee, sit back, and let's get rolling. First impressions of the 2025 Africa Twin 650? Purposeful. The bike radiates intent from every angle. There's no unnecessary bulk or over-the-top design gimmickry. This is a machine that looks ready to head off the beaten path at a moment's notice. The styling borrows heavily from its larger sibling, the Africa Twin 1100, with the signature rally-inspired silhouette, a tall, upright stance, and those recognizable dual LED headlights that give it a slightly aggressive, adventurous face. But everything's been scaled for balance. This is a mid-size adventure bike designed to be approachable for a wider range of riders. And it's that approachability that's at the heart of the 650's appeal. Let's talk about what's powering this machine. At its core is a brand new 650 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine that Honda has developed specifically for this platform. It's liquid-cooled, of course, and delivers a healthy 70 horsepower at around 8,500 RPM, with a broad torque curve peaking at about 65 Nm of torque at 6,500 RPM. The beauty of this engine isn't just in the numbers, though, it's in how they translate to the ride. On the road, the motor feels incredibly smooth and refined, with just enough character from the twin-cylinder pulse to keep things engaging. In typical Honda fashion, it's also ridiculously easy to manage at low speeds, whether you're crawling through urban traffic or navigating a rocky trail. But performance is more than just engine figures, it's about how the entire package comes together. The chassis on the Africa Twin 650 is an all-new lightweight steel frame, tuned for an optimal balance of rigidity and flex. The bike tips the scales at a claimed 208 kilograms wet, which makes it significantly lighter than many larger adventure bikes on the market. Combine that with a relatively low seat height of 830 mm in standard trim and an optional low seat bringing it down further, and you have a bike that's far less intimidating for riders of all sizes. Suspension travel is generous, as you'd expect from a true adventure machine. Up front, there's a 43 mm Showa upside-down fork with 210 mm of travel, while the rear sports a ProLink monoshock offering 200 mm of travel. Both ends are fully adjustable for preload and damping, so you can fine-tune the setup whether you're riding solo, two-up, or fully loaded for that once-in-a-lifetime trip. The suspension eats up bumps on dirt tracks with ease, but it's also surprisingly composed on the pavement. Honda's engineers have clearly worked hard to ensure that this bike is just as comfortable eating highway miles as it is dodging ruts. Braking is handled by dual 310 mm wave discs up front, with two piston calipers, and a single 256 mm disc at the rear. ABS is standard and features an off-road mode, allowing you to disable rear ABS for more control in the dirt. The feel at the lever is progressive and confidence-inspiring, important for a bike designed to tackle mixed conditions. Of course, electronics play a bigger role in modern adventure bikes than ever before, and the Africa Twin 650 is no exception. You get multiple riding modes: tour, urban, gravel, and user. Each adjusting throttle response, ABS behavior, and traction control settings to suit different conditions. The traction control system itself is finely tuned, offering 3 levels of intervention plus the option to turn it off entirely for skilled riders tackling tough off-road terrain. Another standout feature is the inclusion of Honda's optional dual-clutch transmission, or DCT. For those unfamiliar, DCT essentially gives you an automatic gearbox with the ability to shift manually using paddle shifters on the left handlebar. It's been hugely popular on larger Honda adventure models, and its availability on the 650 is a game-changer, especially for riders who spend a lot of time commuting in traffic or who simply want to focus more on the ride and less on shifting gears. In practice, the DCT is smooth, intuitive, and smart, adapting to your riding style and conditions. Moving on to ergonomics, Honda's done an excellent job of crafting a cockpit that works equally well whether you're seated or standing on the pegs. The handlebars are wide and slightly swept back, giving you excellent leverage, while the foot pegs are placed for a natural, relaxed riding posture. The seat is narrow at the front to aid in reach to the ground, but broad enough further back to provide day-long comfort. Riders over 6 feet will appreciate the spacious triangle, but shorter riders will also find it manageable, again reinforcing that sense of accessibility that defines the 650. The bike comes equipped with a crisp, full-color 5-inch TFT display, which provides all the key info at a glance: speed, gear position, fuel range, trip data, and customizable layouts. It's Bluetooth-enabled as well, allowing easy connection to your smartphone for calls, music, and navigation via Honda's RideSync app. It's not overcomplicated with unnecessary tech. Just the right amount of connectivity to enhance your ride without becoming a distraction. Let's take a moment to talk about the wheels, because this is an area where the Africa Twin 650 really stands apart from some of its more street-focused midsize rivals. You get a proper 21-inch front wheel and an 18-inch rear, both wire-spoked, both tubeless ready. This combination gives you real off-road capability, better flotation over loose surfaces, and better absorption of trail impacts than the smaller wheels typically found on road-biased adventure bikes. The tires are dual sport as standard, capable of handling a wide range of conditions straight out of the showroom. Fuel range is another key consideration for adventure riders, and here the Africa Twin 650 scores well. The 20-liter fuel tank, combined with excellent fuel economy around 24 to 25 km/L in mixed riding, means you're looking at an effective range of well over 400 kilometers on a tank. That's more than enough for long days between fill-ups in remote areas. Now let's talk about price, because this is where Honda has really nailed the formula. In Europe, the starting price for the standard manual Africa Twin 650 is expected to be around €9,500, with the DCT version coming in at approximately €10,200. For riders in other markets, including the US and Asia, local pricing will vary, but in all cases it positions the 650 as a highly competitive alternative to other midweight ADV machines. It's priced well below the Africa Twin 1100, but offers much of the same experience in a lighter, more manageable package. And this brings us to what makes the Africa Twin 650 unique in today's crowded adventure market. While many midsize adventure bikes lean toward street touring first and light dirt riding second, the Africa Twin 650 is unapologetically off-road capable. It brings true 21 18-inch wheels, generous suspension travel, a torque-rich twin-cylinder engine, and options like DCT and off-road ABS. All wrapped in a lightweight, balanced chassis that works brilliantly for both new riders and experienced explorers alike. So there you have it, folks, the brand new 2025 Honda Africa Twin 650. If you're in the market for a midsize adventure bike that truly walks the line between off-road prowess and everyday usability, this one absolutely deserves a place on your shortlist. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Would you choose the manual or the DCT version? What kind of adventures would you take it on? And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you won't miss our next right here on Bike Culture Hub. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you out on the trails.